Howdy, partners, and happy Thursday, April the 22nd. Welcome to Science. Peekaboo, I see you over behind that cactus. What do you think we're working on in science today? We will record more examples of interdependence in living things. Remember yesterday we focused on a habitat where there were ducks and dragonflies and frogs and snakes and fish. What was that habitat? Do you remember? What? A pond. Nice job. Today, no pond. But we're back to that interdependence. How will we study it today? We will read about what eats what in a desert food chain. Then create our own desert food chain in Google Slides. Just like yesterday's assignment, but not a pond. Today our habitat is the what? The desert. Say that word with me, please. Desert. Have you ever been to a desert before? My girl's there. She's behind the cactus in the desert. Why are we studying the desert today? We will understand how living things depend on each other for basic needs. Think about that cactus. What are the cactus's needs? What does it depend on to grow, to survive? The sun. It needs sun. What else does a cactus need? I need it too. Water and air. Think about what other organisms are out in the desert. Any ideas? We're going to read a book. It's on pebbleco. They have books on pebbleco. You can find them at the end where it says read more. And then you just click here to say play. Let's see what's eating what in a desert food chain. What do you see there already? Buckle up. It's a good one, boys and girls. You will be moving some of these organisms in your Google slide later to create your desert food chains. Let's go, pebbleco. What eats what in a desert food chain? Take a look here. What is this and what is it eating? Have you seen one of these before? A road runner? They're very fast. They're so fast that he caught a what? A snake. Let's go see some more food chains. Ready?
From a prickly cactus to a quick coyote, all living things are part of a food chain. Each plant or animal in a food chain is connected because each one eats the one before it.
A chain. Show me your chain with your hands. They're connected because the one eats the one before it. Who eats who? They told us there's a prickly cactus, a quick coyote. Do you see a cactus? Do you see a coyote? Plants? Other animals? Ooh, lots of good ideas. Let's go read more.
The bright sunny desert is full of plants and animals. Most food chains rely on sunlight, and in the desert there is plenty of it.
They rely on sunlight. They depend on sunlight. What do you see here? What kind of plants do you see here depend on the sunlight? I see this one with these pretty red little fluffies on the end. Very long, red. That prickly cactus. What else? These yellow flowers. Here's some purple flowers. So the sun is very hot and bright in the desert. We begin with the sun shining on. Pick one of these plants to add to your food chain. Now, who's going to come eat a plant? You have some clues here. What do you think is going to eat a plant?
Producer. An ocotillo plant stretches its long arms toward the sun. Bright red flowers bloom. A warm wind scatters the seeds.
Okay, we learned a new name of a plant.
Producers use sunlight, water.
Whoa, mister. All right, say this word with me, please. Ocotillo. It says the ocotillo plant stretches its long arms. Stretch your long arms. Stretches them up towards the sun. It has bright red flowers and the warm wind scatters the seeds. Which plant do you see here has long arms stretching to the sun with red flowers? Or here over here with the label producer. This is the ocotillo plant. You can have one in your food chain today. It's reaching to the sun and it's producing its own food. It's reading down here, producers use sunlight, water,
nutrients, and air to make their own food.
Remember, they're different from us. We're consumers. We're just eating it. They are actually making their own food, using the sun, using the water, using the air and nutrients. They're creating their own food with the sun. Now we have the ocotillo plant stretching to the sun, producing its own food, blooming those flowers. But something's going to eat it. Let's keep going.
Soon, the ocotillo loses all of its seeds and flowers. A kangaroo rat nibbles the crunchy seeds on the ground. Consumer, herbivore. A consumer eats plants or animals for energy. An herbivore eats only plants.
We learned those words the other day. Now we have the ocotillo plant here in the middle. It looks different because the seeds all flew away. The flowers all fell off. It's nighttime. And here comes a consumer. A herbivore only likes to eat plants. So here's this kangaroo rat. Looks like a rat, long tail, hopping like a kangaroo. It's nibbling on the crunchy seeds on the ground. Here goes our chain. Sun shines on the ocotillo plant. And then here comes this kangaroo rat to eat the seeds. Who's going to eat the kangaroo rat? Ow.
The kangaroo rat stops to rest.
Oh no.
A young rattlesnake
Oh no.
waits and watches.
Oh no.
The snake attacks. Consumer, carnivore.
Carnivore.
A carnivore eats only other animals.
Are you a carnivore? Do you eat animals? Like that mean snake, it's attacking that sweet little kangaroo rat. But the food chain has to go on. So now the rat ate the seeds, but he waited too long resting over here and slithered up the carnivore snake to eat him. Can something come eat the snake now?
The snake curls up in the sunlight. It isn't safe for long. A hungry roadrunner zips by and snatches its next meal.
All right.
Consumer,
Omnivore.
omnivore.
Omnivore. What's an omnivore?
An omnivore eats both plants and animals.
Are you an omnivore? Yeah, I like to eat a burger with lettuce and tomato on it, plants and animals. So this roadrunner is an omnivore. He does eat plants, but right now he's eating an animal. What animal's he eating? That snake. Now, could something come eat the roadrunner? What do you think? Let's go see.
Darkness settles upon the desert, but all is not still. The coyote's glowing eyes spot prey. Pounce. Consumer, carnivore.
Here comes that coyote. Ho! He is a carnivore. He's sneaking in the night and pouncing on the birds, on that roadrunner. He got eaten. Part of the food chain. Now, is something going to come along and eat the coyote? What do you think? Another bigger carnivore? Oh!
The coyote is a strong hunter, but
No.
even it can become another animal's meal.
Ah!
One wrong step can bring a deadly snake bite. A crested caracara quickly
Caracara.
finds the dead coyote.
Oh.
Consumer, scavenger.
Scavenger.
A scavenger eats mainly dead plants or animals.
Okay, so now how did the coyote die? A big deadly snake bite. That means one that has venom or poison in its fangs. So now it bit the coyote, but the snake didn't eat the whole coyote. Maybe he ate a little bit, but now we have this poor, sad, dead coyote body. And here comes a scavenger. That's a new word for us. Say scavenger. Scavengers eat mainly dead plants or animals. We have this bird. It's an interesting bird. It's called a caracara. Say that. Caracara. Like a vulture. You see them on the side of the road eating dead animals. They like dead stuff. Ugh, gross. And they're called scavengers. So, another part of the food chain, eating the big dead coyote. Ew!
Not much is left of the coyote. The decomposers do their part.
Ooh.
Beetles, bacteria, and fungi break down the rest. Decomposers. Decomposers break down dead plants and animals. Their waste is used as nutrients by plants.
Icky, icky, icky. Now, here's more organisms that like dead, nasty stuff. They're called decomposers. Say that with me, please. Decomposers. Decomposers are breaking down the dead plants and animals by eating them more. Look at all these beetles, bacteria and fungi and mushrooms. They're growing on it. They're eating it until all the meat is gone from the bones and all you're left is the skeleton. Ugh! Beetles are part of the food chain too.
Now the soil is rich for a new plant to grow. The desert food chain will continue on.
It's like a cycle. It goes on and on and on and on and on. You can see here out in the desert, look at those old skeletons. All those animals that died, they got eaten. They were part of the food chain. And then came along the decomposers and the scavengers. Until all the meat's gone, the hair's gone off the body. The bones give nutrients to the soil. And now more plants are growing. See, look, there's a new ocotillo plant. Some more cactus. The food chain will keep on going around and around. A new plant grew. Seeds scattered. Here comes the kangaroo rat. And here we go all over again with that chain. The end. Here's a food web. You can look closely at all the animals that are eating each other. There's some that we didn't have in the book, like the javelina. Look at that fat pig. We had a bat. We have grasshoppers, owls, woo-woo, fox, centipedes, scorpions, lots of other organisms out in the desert that weren't even in the book. You can come here and look more on pebbleco if you have time. But we've got another job to do. We have some food chains in Google Slides. Let's go look at our vocabulary before we get to our slide assignment. Today, once again, we're working on our food what? Food chain. A food chain shows the transfer of what? Energy. Say that with me. Energy. Our arrows are showing where the energy is going. And the animals and plants depend on each other. Say this word, please. Depend. Like this bee is depending on the pollen in the flower. The flower is depending on the sun to grow. If they don't get those things they depend on, they cannot survive. Say survive with me, please. Survive. The squirrel depends on nuts. If he does not get those nuts, he cannot stay alive. He needs them to survive. You need to come see me in video 2. I've got my tablet ready to show you exactly what to do. Let's go take a look and make some food chains. See you soon.